shares deference. I'm Peri Lyons, New York Celebrity Psychic. Woohoo! And you're you, which is the best possible thing you could be. And we have a new format. So I'm a little more in HD, which I wish I'd known before I was doing my makeup. I've got that country singer of the 1970s blue eyeshadow on. You know, these things just happen. Anyway, I'm just thrilled to see you with my heart's eye. And I'm waiting here, staring at the phone like a lovesick teenager, waiting for your call. Meanwhile, we're going to do the psychic tarot weather. And I'm just so glad to be back. I apologize for missing a couple of shows, a little technical difficulty, and also I was having a personal growth spurt, as one does. I don't know if you know this, but sometimes right before you have like this big breakthrough and your life opens up, sometimes it'll be really challenging beforehand. It's almost like there's a price of admission. Um, I've also noticed this when I'm in my life looking back, when, for instance, I was on my way to meet somebody who's going to be very, very important to my life in one way or another. On the way, I remember this one time, this guy who helped me with my book and was just a really helpful sort of patron. On the way to see him, every single mode of transportation I got on broke down. And that happens with me a lot because I'm a psychic and my phone breaks, my iPad break, or they just stop working, or my Alexa will start talking to me in a firm male accent, deep voice. And this morning she advised me to go buy some mozzarella. But aside from that, so I was trying to get to go meet this person, and everything broke down. I finally got there like 2 hours late. So, but he was still there. What I'm saying is that sometimes for something that's important coming up, there will be what the I Ching, which is a Chinese oracle that's 3,000 years old, calls difficulty in the beginning. So if you're going through a hard time, my heart goes out to you. But remember, the light at the end of the tunnel is not an oncoming train. Do not give up 5 minutes before the miracle. And remember, it's the price of admission for the good stuff that's coming up. I hope that helps. I also had a really interesting revelation about relationships, but I'll tell you that in a bit. Okay, ready? The psychic tarot weather is just like regular weather, except less damaging to crops. And I'm going to pick three cards. One is for the now, the beginning of the week. The second card is middle of the week, so that's weekendish, run there. And then the third card is like Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, because for us, our week begins and ends on Monday because this show is so important. Well, maybe in the relative scheme of things, yeah. Okay, so the first card. Oh, the other thing is, I always pick these cards and I'm not allowed to repick. I don't like cheat to make you guys feel good. The cards present themselves and I have to go with what they give me. There we go. First card is a great card. I love this card. This card, in my life, I've gotten this card right before times when I was about to be happier than I thought possible, or happier than I could almost remember being. It's sort of a new form of happiness. And you'll notice the picture is a naked child riding on a pony. Um, and you might want to ask your landlord if you can have pets. But sorry, pony joke. But what this means is it's the purity of the white pony and the pure joy of the child. And the sun is like, how can I put this? The sun is our reassurance that no matter how dark the night gets, morning always comes. Okay. Anyway, prepare for uh, happiness. You've already planted the seeds for it. And speaking of planting the seeds, it could also mean that you might be doing the whole baby thing. So if that's not something you want, take appropriate precautions, wear a wetsuit, whatever it is. Okay, second card. This is an interesting card because it looks kind of scary. It looks like these guys, it's a five of wands. And I'll give you a little tarot numerology secret. The five is always a time of change. It's old structures not working anymore, so you outgrow them and you get to find a new way of being that works better for you. But it can be a little uncomfortable at the time. But you'll notice these people are fighting with flowering wands. They're not fighting with swords. Nobody's going to get hurt. They're just, this can also be kind of an office politics card, but it means that whatever like little kerfuffle you're going through right now, if you're having a disagreement with somebody or your grown kids are driving you crazy and making a fuss about like, I don't know, a car accident that wasn't your fault, whatever. Um, that was for a friend of mine who I love. Um, it's going to be better. This is all the change that's necessary for growth. Although at the time, I will admit it's kind of annoying. Okay, and this last card, we love eights. Oh, I was going to tell you, five is always the number of change. That was my numerology secret. And sometimes change is uncomfortable. Well, always change is uncomfortable, but being a little uncomfortable is not a bad thing as long as it's happening to you and not me. Okay, sorry. The Eight of Wands, wands always indicate movement. They're like the fire signs of the zodiac. Their movement, their activity, their things happening. Woo! And it's our day-to-day life. So you might be feeling two things. You'll notice that all of these sort of arrow-like wands are up in the air. So you might have a lot of things that feel like they're up in the air right now, literally, but they're not. All of these seeming arrows are all going to reach their destination. Even if right now you're feeling overwhelmed or you're feeling like, I'm never going to get this done, or I should have probably started this a year ago. Whatever stage you're at, if you're juggling, a few projects or a few ways of being, and who isn't? Honestly, I think ADHD is an evolutionary helpful strategy to help us all cope with this crazy, like, texts, YouTube, TikTok. Uh, anyway, so it's going to be okay, is what I'm saying. And especially if you have a number of irons in the fire and you're thinking, why are there irons in my fire? That's strange. No, you're thinking like, am I doing too much? Am I trying to bite off more than I can chew? I think the answer is maybe, but you're doing it for a reason. You're doing it because there are things you want. There are places you want to go. There are goals you want to achieve. So having irons in the fire is a good idea. And activity is your friend. Okay. All right. So while I'm waiting for our first caller, and we're global, so it could be anywhere. Um, I love our call. We get a lot of callers from Australia and from, oh, Angela in Denver. Oh, boy. I love Denver. Hi, Angela. I love that name. How are you, baby?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm happy to hear from you. So I like to
Thank you.
connect to people through their birthdays. Do you mind me asking what your birthday is? Don't have to tell me the year.
August 16th.
Oh, look at you. I think that's Alfred Hitchcock, the director's birthday. We love Leos on this show. Love them. All right, my angel. It feels like there's a couple of specific questions at the top of your head. Is that true? One about romance and one about work? Pick one.
Probably work is always on the top of my brain.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay.
hmm
So would you like to know how can I be specific enough to be of most help to you?
Um, I don't have a specific question. There's just
It's fine.
I have several jobs, and there's just somebody who is showing some jealousy and insecurity, and so that's been on my mind lately.
Yes, they are. Both of those. And it's interesting because you're a really nice person. You're also a very attractive person. I do remote viewing so I can see what you look like, and you're cute. Um, and you're intelligent, and you don't respond to other people's drama. And that drives some people crazy, right? Is this person a little dramatic?
Yes.
Yeah, thought so. Is it a him or her? I'm getting a her, but it might be,
Yes, you're
yeah.
correct.
Okay. Is she kind of a pain in the ass? Excuse my language.
Yes, at
Yeah,
times,
sorry
yes.
about that. I'm not saying she's a bad
You just
person. I'm just saying she
yeah.
has some maladaptive behavioral issues. I'm not even sure what that means, but it sounded good. Um, she tends to take things personally, and she tends
hmm
to also um, act before she thinks. So, and she might be a little vengeful. And here's the way
hmm
to deal with her. Nod and smile and say, you have a really good point there, and I'm really going to think about it. What you want to do, because she might not be a narcissist, people throw that word around too much, but she does a fairly good imitation of one. And so anything to her that seems even tiny, tiny bit like criticism is going to make her bridle. That's such a great word. It's going to make her feel defensive and go on the attack. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. She really is a pain in the bum, I have to say. Um, and it's funny because outside of work, she's kind of okay. I mean, I'm glad I'm not married to her and she's not my mom, but she's really kind of okay. But in work, she got this sort of like dominance thing. She has to dominate, but she doesn't have much self esteem. You're right. She's very insecure. So she kind of
Mhm.
dominates passive aggressively, which drives me crazy. And you're a Leo, so passive aggressive is just going to get on your nerves like nothing else. Is that true?
Well, and yes, and she's also accused me of being passive aggressive.
Oh, no, she's totally projecting. You're not. I've known you for 30 seconds and you're in Colorado. I can tell you right now, you are not passive aggressive. What you are is direct. And that's what she
Mhm.
doesn't like.
Mhm.
Okay, so let's figure out how to get through this. Oh, I think I got her name too, but I'm not going to say it. Okay. Um, I think probably the best thing to do is a charm offensive. Uh, bring cupcakes for everybody on Friday mornings. Make sure she gets the one. You want to kill her with kindness, not literally, because then I would be open to all sorts of legal ramifications. But so you want to kill her. She wants a lot of attention, and she wants positive attention. She doesn't quite know how to receive it, and she doesn't know how to ask for it. But if you give it to her in a way that reflects her back to how she perceives her best self, and I think for her, she takes a lot of pride in the way she dresses and presents. Just between
Okay.
you and me, I don't think she's very good at it, but that's neither here nor there. So you can compliment her. Yeah, You have a you have a very straightforward way of being, and I'm telling you, she's
Mhm.
just the thing about people like this is they project their own stuff onto you, so they don't have
Mhm.
to own it. How convenient is that? So I'm going to say you might want to do a little bit of a charm offensive, um, and you also want to do what I call gray rocking. My sister Tony is a therapist, and she taught me this for dealing with a narcissist I don't have to deal with anymore. Yay! Okay. Um, so when she tries to get your goat, because I think what she does is put little stings in the tail of her like stuff she says to you, right?
Mhm. Yep.
Like, wow, wow, Perry, you look really good considering, like, that kind of thing. Or You know, nobody would ever guess how really old you are. That's not great examples, but you get the drift. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah, and also I think she does implied threats, and I don't know how
Yeah.
to do that because I'm not. I have a moon in Leo, so like a Leo, I'm all cheerful and straightforward. Um,
Mhm.
so I don't. But she does this sort of like I don't know. She's like that kid who in kindergarten would tell if the teacher goes out of the room and comes back in, she'll say, Bonnie sucking her paintbrush. So that's kind of who she is. Um, so you want to give her what she's looking for, which is attention and a feeling of authority without actually taking her seriously. Does that work?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes, it does.
Um, Hi, Suzanne in Halifax. I'll be with you in a minute. Oh, Halifax. I love Halifax. But I love the name Angela. I find the
Yeah.
Angelas in my life are often quite angelic, to be honest.
Oh.
Um, your I think your love life is fine. Um, the nice thing about the work thing is you're going to get promoted, or actually, you're going to get kicked upstairs, but sort of laterally. I'm not sure how big this company is. I don't think it's that big, or your department isn't that big. Is your department like 7 people?
There's probably 100 people that work there.
Yeah. Um, so you're not going to have to deal with her for too long. Also, here's the thing. People who suck up to their bosses, which she does, and I don't mean that in a bad. Oh yes, I do. Um, I'm sorry, I'm kind of a witch. Um,
You're
it
so
doesn't
accurate
work.
right now.
Thank you. I like being accurate. Oh my god, I have to tell you the funniest story. I'll tell it at the end, but I'll be saying it to you. Um, their bosses know what they're doing, and people. You're the boss that she reports to. She doesn't like her. I'm not like I hate you, but just like, could you stop? Could you just be real for a minute?
Yeah.
The thing what you have going for you is authenticity and predictability, which I mean in a really good way. You're predictable. You
Yeah.
show up on time. You do your job. You don't have different reactions to the same situation, which she does. And so, because she is wants attention, but she's only comfortable with negative attention. So let's have compassion for her, while understanding that we're not going to be working with her for more than a month or two. You're
Oh,
fine. You're
wow.
going to get probably sideways and up to a different department. People are noticing that you are very good with people. You're very good at managing people without having them catch you at it. Um, and you're calming influence. I would hire you. You're hired. Um,
Thanks.
I hope that helps. Your love life, everything else is
It does.
fine. You're doing great. Get a
Thank
little
you
more
so much.
exercise, and I want you to take a multivitamin if that's okay.
Okay, will do.
Okay, love. I'm so glad you called.
Thank
Stay in touch. Let me know how you do. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Right.
Bye.
My pleasure. Hi, sweetie. Okay, Miss Halifax, you still on the phone?
Yes, I am. Yes,
Oh,
thank you.
I love Halifax. Um, a lot of friends there. Great people.
Is that
Okay.
right?
Yeah, the people I know from there are very warm and very honest and very down to earth, but also magical. But they do make jokes about people from Newfoundland. Okay. How can I help you today?
Well, we're from another province per se. We are just sort of newcomers in Nova Scotia, and I would say not new, but the last few years.
Right.
And yeah, it's different for us. We love it here. However, our people are, and the rest of everyone we know, are
Yeah.
in another province, and um, we just,
Oops.
my husband retired. We just said, you know what, it's time for us. But
Not
yeah,
that
it
much
is what
time.
it is. And
Yeah. it's
sorry.
it's not Fun City. I know the feeling because I inherited my mom's place in Annapolis, Maryland, and I am a New York City girl. Was where the province you moved from, was it
Mm,
like in the Ontario region?
well, I would say the Niagara region.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah,
So you're used to a little
Niagara, yeah.
more.
Mhm.
It feels to me like maybe your time in Halifax has either come to an end or you can keep that as a country place and maybe I feel like you're very cultured. Oh, I forgot to ask you. I like to connect people through their birthdays. When's your birthday? Mm.
Oh, it's August 6th.
Oh, having an all
I'm a
Leo
Leo.
day. Love that. Yay. I love Leos. And they're the easiest to read for me too, because you guys are honorable and straightforward. And I just really like you.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you asking if you should move? Because I'm feeling like you might want to
No,
explore other options.
no,
I
not
feel like you're very
really.
cultured. Yeah.
But
Yeah.
we we have our okay. So our our kids are, well, they're not kids, but they're our I guess they are our children. They're
You
all
see?
adults, but
Yeah.
they are, they're in their own world. They have their own things going on and this and that, and it's hard for them to get to us.
Yeah.
So
Three kids?
we will be sorry.
Do you have
Yes,
three?
yes,
Three? Yeah. A
yes,
boy and two
three,
girls?
yeah, yes.
Yeah. Okay. Uh, it's not a bad idea to be around them. Um, The girl needs you, but she's going to need you in a bit. Well, she always needs you. Who doesn't need their mom? Um,
Which one?
but she's too
Okay,
proud to say
so
it. What?
which
Uh,
one? We have it's
the
girl,
younger
boy,
girl's a
girl.
little more
So
dependent on you. The older girl is, but
y-
she doesn't. She's a
yeah,
little more. Yeah, she doesn't like to say she is, right? And the boy's adorable.
the older. Sorry,
I said, I might have
pardon?
them switch. It feels to me like the younger girl is more openly like, "Mom, I need you. Come here." The older girl actually kind of
Yes,
needs you more, but is a little more like, "I'm fine. I can handle this by myself." Um,
exactly.
yeah,
She's in the older one is a nurse, and she wants to do her
yeah,
own thing. She's got her own family, and yeah,
yeah, yeah. And she's going to have another
yeah.
one fairly soon. So, um, and you're always.
Oh,
Does she have one or two kids right now?
just two, yeah,
Going
two
to be another
children.
one soon. And I think you magically appear and very quietly sort of when the kids are first born, very quietly do everything that needs to be done, but you don't draw attention to yourself. I don't think you get a huge amount of thanks, but that's a mom thing. um, but she's going to need
Mm.
you. The third one's going to be along. She'll probably announce it in the next 6 weeks, 2 months. um, Third one's going to be, two is handleable, but three, because they're fairly close in age, not terribly but fairly. um, and it feels to me like three is going to be a lot for her to handle. She's going to have to ask for help from you, and that's a good thing for her to do. That makes sense.
Mm. Yes, but how can I say this? I think because she's a lot older. Like she's older. Like she's older than she's like in her late 40s. So
Wow,
I
your
don't
voice sounds
know if
so
she's.
young. Is she older than you? I mean, that's sorry. She's Yeah, but she's also she's had a long, if you pardon me
I don't.
saying so, she's had a long menopause, and it is the hormone change. She need probably to look into hormone replacement therapy. The hormone change has kind of made her a little depressed and a little less active than she used to be. So they think she's a little. Oh, so she's not going to have another kid. Then maybe one of her kids is going to have a kid. There's a baby in there somewhere. I'm telling you. Um,
Oh God. Oh God. Yeah, because well, I hope not. Yeah, because we well, I'm not saying not no, but like it's the middle one, the boy, who we're like probably more concerned about than anybody of the three of them. Yeah, yeah,
oh, he's fine. He's just
that's
completely himself. He hasn't listened to anybody's advice or anything like that
ever.
ever. So there's no reason he's going to start now. When's his birthday?
That's true.
Yeah.
He's March 30th,
Yeah, he's an
so
Aries. You
he's
can't tell him anything. He's adorable,
no.
and he's got a very sort of, I don't I want to say fresh presence. He's going to make the mistakes he's going to make, and probably won't learn from them, but he's going to be fine. It's just that he's so different from his sisters.
Mhm.
He's kind of so
Mhm.
different from
Yep.
anybody in the family, except maybe somebody on your side, maybe your dad. No, not your dad. Oh well, somebody. He's cute too. Maybe you should send him here, and I'll tell him. Oh, no, just kidding. He is cute. Got a good-looking family, and the girls have kind of old-fashioned, very classic names. Is that correct?
Um. Well, I don't know. Are they? Yeah, I guess. Yeah, they are kind of old-fashioned names. Yeah.
And classic. You like classic things.